Hey Logan, this is Coach Barber from Alabama. Hey man, sorry about the mix up with your video. Um, I know I tried to send it out and we had a lot of mix ups, but I really apologize that happened. And hopefully even though it gets to you a little late, you get to kind of see what you got going on in your swing. So let's take a look at it. The first thing we're always going to look at in the swing is your setup. So in your setup, all right, kind of like it nice and simple, kind of standing up tall. Most hitters, when I first start working with them, I'd tell them to get in their legs a little more, get that butt underneath you a little more. But everybody's different. I understand that. So my deal with that meaning is because you see on your load how you get down in your legs. So let's just put a dot on your chin, okay? And you load. Look how far, not just left and right, with that chin moves from up to down. Okay, the more movement you have in the swing, the worse it's going to be. I mean, the less efficient it's going to be. I'm not a guy that's for never moving in a swing, or I think you need a load, but I like my head to stay on plane going this way. Okay, I like my head to stay on plane that way. So if I can get down to my legs a little more, my setup, so my chin just goes from here that way, and my head doesn't move up and down, I think you'll be a lot more consistent. Kind of give you the first swing as a mulligan, just kind of look at your setup, but everything else I like about it. We'll get into your load and stride, and you got a pretty significant load, which is good. On a load, we want to make sure our knee never gets outside of our foot right here. If that ever happens, we can get in bad shape, but you got a pretty good angle between your knee and your foot. Stride foot gets down pretty good, and that's a pretty good position to hit. This is kind of the make or break point in the swing. Okay, and you can see you're pretty close to A-Rod here. I know he's not the most popular guy to be miling right now, but he's a pretty good hitter, so it's good to watch. But you can see the back legs triggering right now. Front foot's down, everything's closed. Front shoulder's still pointing at the pitcher. That's a really good position to be in right there. Very good. Now let's see kind of how your lower half works in the swing. So we want to make sure that our lower half is all the way through, which yours is, and that good power L at contact. I mean, that's a really good position to be in, man. And you can see the similarities. Both are hitting against a firm front leg behind it. Both are got a good power L on the backside. Okay, really good. Really good. All right, let's get to your upper body a little bit. One thing I like to look at here is, I didn't notice it last time, but you see how this back kind of gets behind your head a little bit? All right, what I'd like for it to be, look at A-Rod's there. Okay, this promotes us being short to the ball and keeping the barrel up. All right, having that barrel up over our head. This promotes us being longer to the ball and that barrel dropping some. And this, you do a good job of keeping your barrel up here. But it's hard to be consistent with it every time that ball's in. That's why you're doing that. It's just hard to be consistent every time if I let that bat drag behind me like that. Let's go to the next swing and see what it does. See, you're one of the kind of anomalies that you are really short to that ball right there. I mean, we judge the length of a swing. One way to judge it is how far that barrel comes off your shoulder. And you are really short to that ball. What I'll do here is that I'm going to draw the path your bat takes to the ball. So in our path, just like we talked about, we want to be short to it and long through it. So just keep that bat short to the ball, get it there as quickly as possible, and then be long through it. You can see there's not a lot of space between your path and your body here, which is really good. All right, and then once you get on plane, you keep that thing on plane for a long time. And you got one of the better swings we've had come through camp because of this, because you use your legs properly. Your setup is fairly simple. Again, I like to see you change that one thing and just sit down on your legs a little more in your setup, so your head's not moving too much. The bat's short to the zone. When it gets in the zone, it stays through it. It's a pretty swing, man. It's a pretty swing. Somebody's taught you well. See, this ball just mishit, but the ball's down a little bit. Same thing. It's hard, we can actually be a little longer when that ball is down, but you're doing a pretty good job of staying through that thing. And it looks like you kind of leak on the front side a little bit, but that's all after contact. So if you ever hear somebody tell you you're leaking after, on the front side, anytime you leak, it's all after contact, which is okay. I used to do the same thing. Well, Logan, I wish I had a little more to critique you on, but I think you got a great swing. I mean, very rarely. Usually we find a guy that uses legs correctly, but his upper half's not very good, or a guy that's fairly short to the ball but doesn't use his legs. But these are really, really good swings from a good hitter. Well, all right, man. Hope you enjoy the video. Hope it helps you out. The few things I told you that it changed, but your swing's in a really good place. So, all right, man. Take care.